You're listening to the SoundWords STL podcast.
Hello, this is John Fleming with SoundWordsSTL.com. I'm joined today by singer-songwriter DeWyze. We're talking a couple hours before his concert at the Monocle on Manchester Avenue in St. Louis. Thank you, Lee, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to tonight and looking forward to talking to you guys.
All right, good deal. Your latest single is The Breakdown, which can be heard on digital music sites like Spotify. What was the inspiration behind that song?
You know, when I wrote The Breakdown, I was really being experimental in the studio with different sounds and different things. And the song itself is really, I never mentioned the words his or her or she or him. And I think for me, what the song was about when I was writing it was really, I think when everyone's going through something, whether it be in a relationship, and let's say they know it's kind of coming to an end, whether it be a friendship, a relationship, whatever it is, your body kind of prepares for it in a weird way. And I think, everyone talks about hindsight, and this is kind of about the realization of what's really going on. Even in the opening lyric, it's always been hard for me. I guess it's easier if I don't see. You were never that innocent, and I was much more forgiving then. It's I guess a reference to when you're in something. It's really easy to make excuses and justify certain things so you don't get hurt. But then once that's over, it's so much easier to realize what's going on. And I always recognize that whenever there's any kind of breakup of any kind, and it could be a personal thing too. It could be you releasing of something or whatever it is. But there's always someone that's hurt a little more than the other person. You very rarely hear about a breakup and they're both hurting just as much. There's always someone that's a little more in pain, and I think that's really where the song stems from for me.
So is it based on like personal experience, or is it just based on?
I've been married for 5 years, and I have a happy marriage, so it's sometimes weird the things I write about, I guess you could say, but I think my imagination tends to run wild sometimes, and I allow it to. I let my mind just wander, and I see different things, and I saw a couple people in my life going through different things at the time I was writing it, and I think that was really the inspiration for the song.
And in addition to your new single, you recently signed with the publishing company Songs. How will that impact your music think going forward?
Well, I'm a songwriter, and, over the past year or so, we've had some great placements and syncs with music, as in my song's been placed in, The Walking Dead, Elementary, Suits, the Fosters, Blue Cross Blue Shield. There's been Nashville, Bull. There's been, a lot of that going on. And for me, songwriting is really the epitome of who I am. I am a songwriter first and foremost, and I love the challenge of writing. I love the ups and the downs of songwriting. And we were looking at a bunch of different places to go, because what a publishing company does is, they're basically, what you're doing is you're saying, I am entrusting my songwriting and my songs to this place, and I trust that they'll do the best with them for me. And there's a huge trust factor that takes place, and there's a huge element of letting your guard down when you're working with someone that is going to be working with something like your songs, which are so important. They're like your kids. I look at songs like children. You have them, and you want the best for them, and some succeed more than others maybe, but at the end of the day you love them all just the same but differently. And so for me, when I wanted to find the right place, the right company, it was more about who can I trust and what do they stand for. And Songs is really about the songwriters. I mean, they are about the songwriting and the songwriters. That is their thing. And they have great acts over there, like The Weeknd, Lord, Noah Cyrus. I mean, they have some, Diplo, Major Lazer. I mean, they've got some real heavy hitters over there. And I think what I really loved about them is that they were able to recognize, that I am a songwriter, and I think they were into what I'm doing, and I really connected with them. And Carrie Ann Marshall over there is kind of running things, and Amanda, Rachel. There's some great people over there, and they really saw what it is that I had to offer, and I think that I saw what they had to offer, and it's just a great marriage and it's a great pairing. us together. So I'm really excited about what it offers. And, with them, it's all about, a community of songwriters, getting me with different songwriters, writing for different projects, writing for different movies, television shows, getting my songs placed in different places, because we live in 2017. It's a new era of technology. I mean, we're doing, an interview and a podcast inside of a venue that you guys threw, you threw up a recording studio here in a couple minutes. So we live in a different world, and, to be with a company like that, I think it really comes down to discovering music. People want to discover music. I think we don't live in a time where people want to be told what to listen to. And I think that being able to get songs placed and licensed and things like that, it's not so much about anything for me other than having people discover my music in different ways. And they're going to be really helpful in facilitating that. So I'm excited about my future with them.
Yeah. And you mentioned, of course, that you have a lot of emphasis on your songwriting. Whenever, of course, I'm sure most people listening are aware that you were an American Idol contestant and winner in 2010. Was there any blowback whenever you first started out towards being sort of emphasizing your songwriting? Because a lot of the previous winners have relied heavily on outside
You
writers.
mean like the seesaw between, hey, I'm on a show that's built around singing covers, and, it's kind of like it's more of like what's the word? It's very, it's bubblegum. Yeah, well, in the eyes of some people. And I think coming off of a show like American Idol, so for me, here's the thing. I was a songwriter before I went on American Idol, and I'm a songwriter that won American Idol, not an American Idol winner that became a songwriter. Yeah. And so for me, a show like American Idol does not necessarily lend itself to songwriting. It is not. It does. There's
like
no
not the emphasis of it.
Yeah, there's no correlation, I think, in people's minds between songwriting and American Idol. I think you go on American Idol, you sing covers. People get a sense of what your voice may sound like and what you look like and what your personality may be. But as far as the artistry side, I don't know if the show emphasizes too much on that. And so for me, and that's what you sign up for. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but I'm a songwriter, and there I am up there singing, You're Still the One by Shania Twain. And it was definitely an interesting transition for me. So coming off of the show, I knew that I had to make it clear that, songwriting is what I do. And so I was able to write or co-write every song on that first record I put out. But to me, the first record that came out was very confusing for me personally, because I worked with a lot of different producers, different writers, different things, and it was just, I loved all the songs, and I loved the process, and I loved the experience of being on American Idol. There was, it was an amazing experience. I'm one of only a few people that get to say they went through that and won, and it was amazing. And the fans there's nothing like it. They're the best. But to come off of a show like that and say, hey guys, I'm a songwriter, to be taken seriously, what can you do? Well, you can write songs. You can write good songs. And that was my focus coming off of the show. And so as time went on, I just kept writing and writing and writing. And, I signed with Vanguard Records not shortly after that, a while back, and I was able to release a song for The Walking Dead. I wrote an original song for The Walking Dead, and I think that really opened a lot of people's eyes to the fact that I am a songwriter, and really embodied more of who I am as an artist and as a musician and as a singer and all of that. And I've been able to kind of run with it since then, because I think that wall that can be put up because you're talking about American Idol versus songwriting. That wall that was put up has definitely been broken down in a good way, and I think that I'll always appreciate and respect and love my time on the show, but what I've done since the show definitely more embodies who I am as an artist than anything else I've ever done, all the way up to the record I'm about to put out. So I'm really excited about the opportunity I've had over the past few years, and very appreciative and very humbled by my experience on the show. But I continue to write and I continue to perform on tour, and the reason I do those things is because at the end of the day, what it is that I love about music is the songwriting. I love telling a story. I love connecting with an audience. There's a big difference between singing at an audience and singing to or with an audience, and I always try to do that, because with me, when it comes to songwriting, and even stemming from the show, coming off the show, was always very important to me to be honest in what I'm doing, to be real about it and not, be this guy that's full of shit. I'm a songwriter. I write songs. Like, okay, cool. But, like, it really comes down to the music. And if someone was to listen to my music, I think there wouldn't be any question as to whether, what comes first for me. And it's songwriting.
And you hinted a minute ago.
That's the short answer, by the way.
Okay.
I just wanted you to know that. That's my short answer on that.
All right, well, you hinted a minute ago that you were perhaps working on a new album. When can fans expect something new? I mean, obviously you have a new single out.
Yeah, we released a new single, and we're going to be putting out music a little differently. I think we're going to be releasing a song here and a song there leading up to a record release. So I would say before the end of the year, early next year, maybe a new full-length record. But right now, it's really about the single. I'm playing that on tour, and I'm playing new music, and we got a couple new songs I'm performing. The Breakdown, Paranoia, Empty House. There's some ones I've been playing, and fans can expect something. I guess you could say shortly. We're gonna be putting out new music all the time. So
cool. All things Lee DeWyze, links, music videos, Spotify can be found by heading to LeeDeWyzeOfficial.com. Lee, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you guys so much, and it's great to sit here and talk real with you guys and talk music, and I can't wait to be back and hopefully talk to you guys again.
All right. Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Soundwords STL podcast.